Hello and welcome to Osaka. Japan's kitchen needs no introduction, and if your main purpose here isn't to stuff yourself with the finest Japanese food, then what the heck are you even doing here? And so, as hard as it is to snag a crowdless photo of you and the famous Glico Running Man, it's even harder to choose where to eat. So today we're going to be running through everything we ate in Osaka, from humble hole-in-the-walls to Netflix famous izakayas. So without further ado, let's go.
The most entrepreneurial-minded folk know that the best way to make bank is to sell both the poison and the cure, and Yawaragi knows that. This backed alley gem is an izakaya at night, and just a few hours later in the ungodly hours of the dawn transforms into a humble breakfast spot. Their tamagoyaki set meal will heal you. It's served with rice, sashimi, pickled vegetables, a hearty miso and pork soup, and freshly cooked tamagoyaki that we added some sparkling salmon roe on top of. This harmonious meal of proteins, carbs, salts, and fats is just what the doctor ordered. The beer I had for breakfast, however, let's keep that a secret between us. Fair warning though, we arrived at 7 AM and ended up waiting 2 hours for this meal, even though the line wasn't that long. It's a good way to sober you up, I guess. Sometimes you just want a refreshing bowl of udon for breakfast, and luckily Udon Kyutaro opens at 7 AM so you can start your day strong. This udon hotspot is tight eating quarters where you'll practically be shoulder to shoulder with the people next to you. I love that they have self-served tempura bits and spring onion, but also a tempura counter where you can choose a bunch of different fried goodies to go with your udon. I got their udon with maitake mushrooms and beef in a warming broth, and might I say, those udon noodles were extra bouncy. I also got a piece of chicken tempura and fish cake to bolster up my udon. Aliana got their limited edition Otsukumi dry udon with an egg yolk, bouncy beef balls, and silky sauce that made for a luscious and meaty udon bite. Her mushroom tempura and meat croquette made for a filling meal as well. Nonkiya is just the sort of standing bar I love to visit. This Shinsekai oden spot packed with locals as soon as it opened in the morning to get their fix of warming oden. There's one person helming the bar serving a variety of oden stewed in a light dashi broth as well as other goodies. We got a bunch of dishes from delicious fish cakes and super tender radish to bouncy chicken mint skewers. Clean tasting but quite addictive. They also do more Moorish bites like this cognac jelly coated in a voluptuous miso sauce and beef tendon that's also bathing in the same sauce. We finished this amazing meal off with silky tofu topped with briny seaweed and of course a bottle of Asahi dark beer, because honestly, day drinking is a social construct.
Exploring the local coffee scene is one of our favorite things to do when we travel, so we hit up Millpour Coffee for our caffeine fix. This is a quaint little store that operates their own coffee roastery, so you know you're getting the freshest beans possible. I got this delicious maple nut latte, and the kiwi in Kuya was ecstatic that they served flat whites just like home. This really hit the spot, especially with a side of people watching as you park up and sip on your coffees. For another high-quality specialty coffee shop, make sure to check out Sot Coffee, which is a 10-minute walk from Osaka Castle. These guys are serious about coffee, and they even sell a bunch of their own blends in-store. I was feeling a bit of a treat myself coffee, so I ordered their choconut latte, which comes with this decadent chocolate and nut rim. It honestly felt like drinking a Ferrero Rocher in coffee form. They don't have flat whites here, but Kuya's cappuccino was still an elite coffee. Pretty latte art and strong coffee flavor. Ramen is my ideal hot noodle dish, and the best part about Japan is all the regional ramen varieties. We got to try Osaka-style ramen here at Jouroku. I do appreciate that the waiting area is seated inside the restaurant for maximum comfort. They also do this amazing niboshi shoyu ramen, which is a soy sauce-based blend with chicken stock and dried fish topped with chashu, scallion, and bamboo shoot. The fish imparted a delicate seafood flavor that made this ramen quite unique. The Osaka-style chuka soba, however, is the visual opposite, and what makes it special is the chicken stock tinted by a dark soy sauce. The noodles here are thicker, and the pepper gave it a fragrant kick. You can't go wrong with either choice here, and adding some gooey egg is a must-do for us.
This place needs no introduction. The legend of Toyo-san stretches far and wide, and you may be thinking, here we go again with another viral Netflix featured tourist trap. And I say to that, where is the fun in your heart? Izakaya Toyo is practically a roadside shack filled with standing tables and self-serve drink coolers that serves as a concert hall for Toyo-san's flamethrower show. The mad lad uses a flamethrower to cook tuna with the ferocity of 1,000 suns into a dish of broiled tuna topped with scallions and seasoned with soy sauce. It's simple but so effective. They also do fatty tuna rolls that are perfect to munch on, and platters of tuna of varying fattiness mixed with these beautiful salmon roe rolls. The food is nothing exceptional, but it is tasty and you're really here for the show, so grab a big bottle of Asahi and enjoy it. Haters may say it's a blatant disregard for one's own health and safety, but I say masterful utilization of the latent frost effect, Toyo-san.
A fireworks show even Firelord Ozai would approve of. Bash.
Kushikatsu is one of the most iconic street foods to get in Osaka, and why not have it in the neighborhood in which it was invented at Kushikatsu Shinsekai. They offer a bunch of different food that's breaded and then deep fried. There isn't a wrong choice here. I mean, it's fried stuff, you're always gonna get it right. But what you can't get wrong is dipping each skewer into the signature savory sauce. We got skewers from melty mozzarella, snappy sausages and lotus root, to meaty bites of chicken breast with plum and our favorite pork belly. Of course, we also got seafood such as prawn and octopus, which were both great. This made for such a good snack and an even better pair with some drinks. If there's one thing you can't miss in Osaka, it's their famous street food, takoyaki. You'll find these blisteringly hot balls of battery magma scattered everywhere in Osaka, so here's 4 that we visited. We first started off with Takoyaki Tanjiro in Umeda. This humble spot is located in a covered shopping street and has a few seats available to dine in. Their takoyaki is simple but delicious. It's got the one piece of octopus, a flavorful savory sauce, mayo, and bonita flakes on top. While it wasn't the greatest takoyaki, this was a decent benchmark for the rest of our takoyakis in Osaka. Next stop is Goonies in Nipponbashi, Denden Town. This is an eclectic store with a bunch of cool anime and pop culture decorations throughout, and they serve a bunch of different sauces, but we kept it classic. What I liked about this more than Tanjiro is the punch-in-the-face savory acidity that the sauce has, and the slightly less runny batter that made for an exciting bite.
You won't be able to miss this takoyaki spot in Dotonbori. I mean, just look for the massive takoyaki ball that looks like it got stung by 100 bees. This is Takoyaki Juhachiban, and what makes this unique is that their takoyaki is coated with bits of tempura batter that gives it an extra crunch. We got a half and half top with a simple salt seasoning and the classic takoyaki sauce. I love how the inside has good chunks of octopus in it and that the batter isn't that runny. The tempura bits as well add a satisfying texture to this dish. Even though lines can get big here, it's quite satisfying seeing them cook the takoyaki right in front of you while you wait. This store might be located in Tourist Central, but this was really good and unique compared to other takoyaki spots. And finally, our last takoyaki spot is Fumichan. This was one of the rare occasions where the cheapest takoyaki we had ended up being our favorite. This was miraculously almost half the price of the other takoyakis we had in this list. These takoyaki were phenomenal. They were perfectly plump and spherical, the batter was luscious and flavorful, and the octopus pieces were a good size. Best part is that the kind man making the takoyaki gave us 3 pieces for free because they were leftovers before starting a new batch. This came in a standard tangy and savory takoyaki sauce sprinkled with a generous amount of bonita flakes. The ones we paid for was a half and half of yuzu sauce, which was light and citrusy, and a spicy curry sauce that reminded me of currywurst. A decent kick and super savory. 4 takoyakis in, you'd think my brother would learn to wait until the takoyaki has cooled down, but no.
Ooh. It's like the power of the sun just slowly made its way down through my esophagus.
If you're craving a sweet treat in Dotonbori, make sure to grab a Melonpan ice cream sandwich from the spot. Just look for the Melonpan that opens up like a clam. You can choose from a few ice cream flavors, so I chose their strawberry ice cream. It had that classic strawberry candy flavor that went really well with the fluffy and slightly sweet Melonpan. Kuya got their sakura ice cream. I've never eaten a sakura flower before, but this tasted like a flowery vanilla. The top doesn't have the sugary crisp of higher quality melonpans, but it still did the job.
If If you're craving some street food, then Kuromon Market is the gold mine for it. This covered market is filled with everything you could ask for, from fresh seafood, meats, pickles, and coffee. We didn't eat much here, but I did manage to snag an iced latte from Green Beans Parlor in the middle of the market. It was cooling and light, and you can even buy beans from different origins that they roast themselves. Aliana counterintuitively ordered a strawberry kakigori to beat the heat at Kuromon Burger Matokoya. This was simple, refreshing stuff, but we'll make sure to try their burgers next time. However, I couldn't leave without eating some seafood, so I grabbed a few from Fukahiro Honten. Their sashimi platter was reasonably priced, for the market at least, and was fresh and tasty. I got a sizable oyster, which is quite clean and creamy, and you can even request to get your seafood cooked, so we got a couple of scallops grilled in a soy butter sauce, which was a delicious one-biter. Italians, look away, but Japanese-style spaghetti at Spaghetti No Pancho might become your next guilty pleasure. I ordered their Napolitan, which is the most famous Japanese pasta, which has, stay with me Italians, ketchup. And wait for it, hot dogs.
Que schifo.
I even got it with a silky omelet on top with a deep and umami demi-glaze. And because I had no self-control, I added a hamburger steak as well. Why not? The tomatoey tang mixed with the savory demi-glaze and meaty hamburger was pure indulgence. Aliana meanwhile got their white Napolitan, which is in the best way possible, kinda like a failed carbonara where you stuff it up and curdle the eggs. This was more of a plainer garlicky pasta. Aliana also added some delicious chicken naan bun with a dollop of zesty tartare sauce and a snappy sausage for good measure. And for the lack of a better phrase,
it's so mid in the best way possible. Yeah.
The portions were huge as well, considering these plates were the small size. This place was pure comfort and would convert any pasta traditionalist with ease.
If you're still craving some Japanese Western food, then hit up one of the best Japanese burger chains, Shogun Burger. They make their patties with Japanese black beef and everything is made in-house. I kept it simple with their teriyaki burger. This had melty cheese, lettuce, and a juicy wagyu patty coated with a sweet and savory teriyaki sauce. This was simple but incredibly satisfying. My brother took it to the extreme with their limited edition Yakisoba Burger. Yes, this is noodles in a burger, the ultimate carb on carb action. Not only that, it even comes with an egg, cheese, and pickled ginger. This felt like an intrusive midnight thoughts in a burger, but the noodles seasoned with soy provided an extra bouncy texture to the already flavor-packed burger. Motsunabe may not be your first thing you think about when it comes to food in Osaka, but you best be adding this to your list. This is Motsunabe Miyawaki, a spacious restaurant that specializes in motsunabe, which is a pig intestine-based stew. It's packed with garlic chives, cabbage, and a slightly sweet soy broth that would hit during the wintertime. I wish it came with double the intestines, but oh well. Our favorite, however, was the sizzling motsu that arrived menacingly red in a sizzling plate. This was ultimate drinking food. The intestines are cooked down till they're almost crispy, and it's coated in an unctuous spicy seasoning that infuses itself into the oils that a bowl of steaming hot rice would perfectly soak up. Other than takoyaki, okonomiyaki is one of the other must-try street foods here in Osaka. And why not try what is meant to be the best of the best at Namba Okonomiyaki Ajinoya Honten. This legendary spot got famous after it got recognized as a Michelin Bib Gourmand restaurant in 2016 and 2017. We arrived here for an afternoon snack at 3 p.m. and we still had to wait an hour. What sets this apart is that the expert staff cook and prepare the okonomiyaki right in front of you. They mix the batter, add toppings, and slather on a generous amount of sauces, furikake, and bonito flakes. I went for a little bacon, corn, and cheese number, and it's so satisfying seeing the cheese melt into a gooey blanket that gives this okonomiyaki a decadent creaminess. Kuya got their Ajinoya mix, which comes with a combo of squid, octopus, pork, mince, and shrimp. This was amazingly decadent surf and turf action that complemented the tangy sauces. Now I see why this okonomiyaki was Michelin rated.
Now this might be the craziest street food spot in Osaka. This is Yakisoba Baby just west of Dotonbori, and this may not be a nightclub, but it didn't stop us or the staff from singing and dancing to some music. They do a simple selection of bar classics such as their Dotonbori fried chicken that's slathered in a hot sauce and mayo to complement the crispy and juicy chicken. We also ordered yakisoba loaded with juicy chicken bits, garlic shoots, and a light kiss of smokiness from the grill. I did have to add some extra soy sauce and shichimi togarashi to this though. And of course, okonomiyaki. This glorious mess is intersected with crispy noodle edges, mildly crunchy cabbage, and a savory soy sauce. Was this as good as the Michelin spot? No, but it was still solid, and hey.
You know what tastes so much better about this Yambi compared to the Michelin Bib Gourmand spot?
What?
The 0 wait time.
Make sure to get a couple of drinks or more to wash down these delicious morsels, and if you're feeling extra sociable or rich, you can even buy a round for the staff. Finally, we end this list with the most wallet-breaking of them all, Matsusaka M Umeda. You've heard of Kobe beef before, but this yakiniku chain specializes in Matsusaka beef, which some say they prefer over Kobe beef. We indulge in their Subaru set menu, which was the most indulgent gauntlet of Matsusaka goodies, starting with dishes of roast beef, veggies to grill, and wagyu sushi. Next comes thin slices of wagyu that you put on the yakiniku that comes in plain and marinated versions. Then a thicker, more marbled cut of sirloin steak followed, and I mean, the way these meats just melted in my tongue was sublime. But wait, it got even better with this intensely fragrant beef garlic rice that could keep even the most powerful vampires away. And finally, what was probably the best bite of the night, these delicate ribbons of sukiyaki beef with a luscious dipping sauce. This meal was pure luxury, although I admire the trust they put in us hooligans to cook such expensive meats, but hey, we pulled through. If you're a food lover of every level, it should be your life mission to make the pilgrimage to Osaka. And after eating through here for a few days, we can clearly see why it is called Japan's kitchen. And if you want to see more of our food and travel adventures in Osaka, then be sure to watch the full vlogs on our full Osaka playlist.
So that does it for this video. Osaka is Japan's kitchen, and there's a million things on the menu, so obviously there's so much more that we miss out on, but we cannot wait to explore more of what Osaka's food scene has to offer. But anyway, we hope you still found the insights into the places that we visited useful, and thank you so much for watching, and happy eating in Osaka.